Bam.
Oh, give me a break. Come on. How can you not pick Brent Fikowski to win this event? Are you kidding me? Don't you remember 2021? Oh my. What do you mean? I picked him to win. You did not pick Brent Fikowski. Are you kidding me? You literally said Pat Vellner. What? Do we need to go watch the receipt back? You kidding? Are you kidding? Dude, you're an idiot. Can you not hear yourself talking right now, dude? Oh my. These commentators are idiots too. Gosh, I know more about CrossFit than all these people. Have you not even paid attention for the last 5 years? You don't want to lose, you little crybaby. God.
Is this you or someone you love? Download the Heat 1 app on the App Store, Google Play Store, or by scanning the QR code on the screen. Heat 1 is going to the big leagues for 2024 tier Waterpalooza. Pick your top 10 men, women, and teams and play in a shot caller league where you can pick the winners for each event. Create a league with your friends, your gym, and also play in the Worldwide League where you have a chance to win $14,000 in prizes. Play now for free by scanning the code on the screen.
Nice. So you want to go to the App Store, type in Heat 1, download the app. We will all be playing. I'm sure there'll be a room where you can play against the greats like myself, Grundler, and Matt Souza. But let's talk about this. This is all Waterpalooza talk for the next 6 days. Maso Manos will be squeezing it in everywhere. Oh, did I mention it's the tier Waterpalooza? Don't forget the tier. Without tier, something wouldn't be happening. Bill, is Danielle Brandon competing as an individual at Waterpalooza? How come we can't get a fucking straight answer to this?
I'm going to say yeah, because it's on her name is at least on the leaderboard. I mean, we've seen that, but I'm going to say that it's fairly regular that you have names that show up on the competition floor when you get to Waterpalooza and people don't show. I mean, as a commentator, we've commentated that thing so many years, and there's always
and vice versa, right? They're known to be very open. Last minute entries are cool with Waterpalooza. They're known for that.
I think because of the fact that people are always bowing out, kind of at the last minute, you're able to kind of throw people in there at the last minute. It's never been a case where someone was going to get in, then there wasn't room, like they overbooked an airplane or something like that, and they're looking for people to graciously step off their seat and get, I don't know, a free ride for next year or something. I don't know how they do that.
The third greatest sponsor in the world, tier for Waterpalooza, the tier Waterpalooza, a distant third compared to Paper Street and CA Peptides and maybe even BirthFit fourth. But anyway, still fantastic. The tier Waterpalooza. What about the fact that I hear there's 41 athletes and that there is absolute mayhem behind the scenes at Waterpalooza now? Like, how are we going to get Danielle Brandon in there with 41? It's such a weird number. Does that mean someone's got to get kicked off? And if who should kick off? Yeah. Really? We're going to have to boot someone.
I think that what like I just said,
PFAA,
like
blame them, Bill. Blame the PFAA. Only 40 athletes. Can't make anything unsafe. Emily,
they already have.
It's
they
Brent
already
Fikowski's
have.
fault.
If you've gone to Waterpalooza, if you have been there either on the floor or watched any of the broadcasts that they've had, it is crowded. They don't have a lot of extra room. So to put an extra lane in there, I don't think it's going to happen. It would be easier to ask one of the athletes to stand down or go to a team or have something like that shuffle. And I can very easily see that shuffle happening. I see it happening. You know what? I don't really want to compete this weekend. It's fine. It'll be fine. I'll just jump over here to this team.
The senior out of West Virginia, Noah, is a listener to the Sevon podcast. Hey, Sound Friends. Noah, you've made quite the stir on Instagram. All of a sudden, you are an Instagram legend. Respect. I hope your skill set can maintain with your popularity. Have you seen this going around on Instagram? He's got a real account. That's a real dude, Noah.
Really?
Yeah. I checked it out. I already invited him on the podcast. Oh, there was, and only a few sponsors have the balls to keep it real. And I don't know if I don't
I
know.
was going to ask if that was birth fit.
I know birth fit keeps it real. They bring babies straight out of the vaginal canal. I know CA peptides keeps it real. Sarah says that shit can't be tested for. That's
There you
real.
go.
Getting Paper Street coffee, that'll make you say shit you wish you didn't say. Drink 2 cups of that shit, your mouth does all sorts of crazy shit. Bill, you've frozen.
Did I freeze again?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotta
but
be
your audio still
fucking
comes in
kidding me.
so clear.
I'm hopping out and hopping right back in.
His audio is so crisp. How
I
does
don't
he
know what
do
the-
it? How does he do it?
I'm coming back.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Oh.
Bill Grundler.
But
Taking off. Daniel Brandon is not responding to any of my texts or my DMs, and there's a circle of people around me who she is communicating with, and I'm wondering if it's because I said that Sporty Beth's tits were better than hers. She I don't know why that would upset her. Those are quite a set of hammers Sporty got, and then on top of that, maybe it's because I had Torres on. You think it's that? You think I'm being punished for having the X on?
no, I was throwing the thumbs up to Bill, but I
Oh.
also, yes, I do think it was that. Now that you say it, I
Oh,
was like,
come on, Danielle. I'm fucking a hardcore fan.
Hey, did you see her stories though that I brought up? You were in it, kind of. Yeah.
I might have to call her. I might have to call her and
Let
apologize.
me
Hey, you know what?
do these bad boys one more time for you.
I'm in there. Let me see.
Yeah. Well, she reposted mine, which was cool.
Oh wow! And she tagged the Real Sevon podcast.
And then we have this.
Let me see.
Very confident. All I see is comatose and looking scared. Those attention.
Oh yeah. I love Mean Girls. Okay.
I don't know what the implication of that is, but you're in the mix there. And then,
Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to tell you there's one thing more exciting than Danielle Brandon in the CrossFit space, and only one. And it's John Young talking about the motherfucking Bible.
What's up, guys?
John, I feel so bad for not inviting you, and then all of a sudden I'm like, wait, we need John on this show for the next 3 weeks if Dave's gonna be slanging any Bible.
I'm ready for it.
Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you rotate that phone for us though?
Okay, let me try. I'm at my gym, so I'm like limited.
Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. I want to see those broad shoulders, baby. Give it to me all. Give it to me all.
Really, real quick, John Young, did you see Taylor's performance this morning?
I did.
Doing the tier Waterpalooza workouts, the 2-tier Waterpalooza workouts. Did you see them?
Yeah, no tears were shed.
And what do you think? Are you impressed? Is he games athlete material?
We've known he's games athlete material. He just always finds a way to mess it up. So hopefully this year he can stay freaking healthy and do it.
Okay, so hats off to him. That was a boss move what he did.
Yeah, no, I think the first workout that he did, I think could be a top score.
The crazy thing was that
the
crazy thing is that he did it. You asked a question. I watched the show earlier when it was like rebroadcast. I watched it not live, but one, it was fucking done awesome. You guys crushed it, Will, and just smashed that. That was fucking amazing. But the fact it was the same thing as like when Hiller went out and did Grace all by himself when everyone's watching. It is different doing it that way than when you're on the floor with a whole group.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's way more pressure to do what he did. And he fucking did phenomenal. Dude.
Over 700 live viewers, and I just looked over 4,500 now have seen it.
So good.
Yeah.
Like unless you're Velner, Roman, or Ricky, that amount of people are not watching you.
No way.
Unless you're those top guys.
Oh,
no way. No way. It was so good.
So what are you saying, that I should charge Taylor some money? 10% of any signups he got?
It was good.
This is the Week in Review show. Dave Castro does this show every Monday. We are it's one of the highlights of what we have coming out of CrossFit these days. Dave's been there as long as anyone, probably the most senior employee there, maybe him and Nicole Carroll. We're stoked to have him. He runs the games. He runs the training department. He's a no bullshit guy. This is always cool. We've been doing this now for weeks and weeks and weeks. At any point, he could easily just report us and stop us from doing this, and he hasn't. The whole thing is cool as shit. I love the guy. But occasionally he does take an ass pounding on this show. Actually, every show. And
who doesn't?
And we shall. He's good at taking ass pounding. We shall begin. Here we go.
January 8th, 2024, at Chester Springs CrossFit 1759. Hi, Dave. I love your weekend reviews and appreciate your perspective and your commitment to personal continuous improvement.
Oh, he's reading a little weird, like English as a second language. Some ESL shit today.
I'm surprised you're listening to like 1 speed. You usually do 1.5.
Oh, yes. Okay. Well, oh, that's why. I'm usually thinking.
Sounded so
yes. Thank you.
slow.
Fondle, this is the vampire show of the Dave Castro's weekend review where Sevi sucks off a Dave. Sucks off Dave. Sucks off. How about a Dave? Okay, thank you. Fuck. Sousa Bill wants your job. He pointed out the technical error. The
yeah.
Here we go.
That is what CrossFit is all about, and it's super cool to see you live by that credo yourself. Thank you for that. And I agree, CrossFit is about self-improvement and making yourself better in many ways. And often we just focus on the physical side of it, and through reading and just continuing to self-educate, that's how I take it to a different place, but also using the discipline from what CrossFit builds in routine and in habit and in actual fortitude for doing hard things. Have you listened to Chase and Bill's podcast?
He just sucked himself off. He just read a compliment. I like it. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I think it's the first time. We always talk about just the workout. It's the first time. I mean, if you talk CrossFit, it's a whole prescription. It's not just a workout. I mean, there's a lot of there's the nutrition part in there, all that. I don't think we talk about that part enough. All of it, the full circle of CrossFit, not just the workout. So I think that was good.
And I saw his breath. That means it's cold. It's cold in that room.
It was cold today, dude.
Yeah,
it's cold.
I'm going to rewind this
Podcast on how to
back
fix a
just
team
10
competition.
seconds because I think
What
he said
CrossFit
Bill's
builds
name.
in routine and in habit and in actual fortitude for doing hard things. Have you listened to Chase and Bill's podcast on how to fix a team competition? Really cool ideas. Thank you again for all that you do. I have not listened to their podcast. I'll ask Chase what he's talking about.
And that's the end.
Wow. Wow.
Solid.
Why does he have to ask Chase? Because Chase is on the payroll?
Yeah. Well, it's just easier access. Easier. I mean, those guys are.
Oh, my
more
God. He's
ready
got
just
your
with the
number in his
HQ.
phone. He could
does.
call you.
But I think, I mean, what I like, and thanks for everyone giving those questions to him, because that's the only way that there's going to be a way to change that stuff. I think the HQ people get kind of stuck in a bubble, and it's easy for them to just do what they do. I mean, we're all the same way. We do what we do until someone from the outside just says, hey, here's an idea. And you can kind of look at it and be like, oh, okay, I get it. But you don't know until you hear it. So I hope he asks.
What did you guys suggest? Can you sum it up, or is it an hour and a half talk?
No, it's not an hour and a half talk. It's basically forcing team people to join that team track right away. So you have to, at the beginning, whether it's the beginning of the open or beginning of the quarterfinals, state that you are going team, and then that takes you out of the individual scored points and all that kind of stuff. So it forces you to go a certain way. The other thing is it would be forming a team. So you'd have a 6-person team with 2 alternates. So you can actually use those people. So in case like that team that lost the one athlete, he fell on his face right before they checked in.
Josh Mattis.
Yep.
Yeah.
Josh Mattis.
Yeah. To where you could actually have something like that happen. The other thing that Chase brought up, which was a really good idea, it was the idea of scheduling the way the workouts would be so that all the athletes would be involved. There'd be 2 basically where all of the athletes have to be involved. And then for regionals or for semis and quarterfinals at 6 events, games would be 12. And then that way you can kind of maneuver where the people would be and how that they need to be able to put in there. And then the last thing would be that if you have someone that gets hurt during the games, you could actually take a penalty and then bring another person in, but that removes the other person out. So just some couple technicalities.
You need the penalty
because
that person would be fresh, and you can't have fake injuries.
Right. The idea is that if you're gonna try to fake someone in there, put your beast in there who's gonna do the lifting, and then say that they're hurt and not use them anymore, and then use your little ninja after that. What you do is you would lose 100 points for being able to stay in the game, but you still be able to compete. It's not like,
hey, you know,
Miranda blows their knee out, and then the team is out, and then that's it.
Bill, you know what you could do to take that all out so people don't even lie? Just be like, hey, you can swap a player out at any time, cost you 100 points.
Well, and that's what we were kind of going back and forth. We were kind of fleshing that out on the floor. Yeah. It would have to be that no matter what you do, it really you are gonna have to pay to make that switch, and that we want to make it so you can't game it. And that's what the hard part was. So we were kind of playing with that 100-point thing.
Name maker, X is the place to be. Sure is. Twitter. Props to Elon.
At Mitch Collins 5840. Dave, you plan to read fewer books and think about them more. That is spot on. Well, even when I'm reading a lot of books, I do think about them. So I want to make that clear. I am thinking about it and taking it in. Here's a thought. Read the Torah, then the Bible, then the Quran. I already started the Bible. I am planning on reading the Quran. You will be struck by the overlap. For example, Jesus is in the Quran. Understand the overlap and progression from oldest to newest of the 3 holy books of the Abrahamic monotheistic religions is eye-opening. Good luck. Yes, I'm excited about this. John. John and Jake.
Well,
Just
what
say
do you want me to
yay.
comment on? Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Amen, motherfucker. Something. That's you. That's how you're on the
Muslims believe
show.
in Jesus.
What about this order?
Too, just way differently.
But what about this order? This guy's suggesting Torah, which means Old Testament. Then he's suggesting New Testament, right? And then he's suggesting Quran.
Yeah, I mean, it's like reading the Bible and then reading the Quran. It's just the Torah. The Torah is in Hebrew, so they'd have to have a translator version of the Torah. I've not actually read a straight Torah, but it's the first 5 books of the Bible can do that justice. But I know how people climbing in the comments telling me how retarded I am for thinking that, but.
Fuck that. You're the expert on this show. That's all
so the reason why he says that is as Jewish people read the Torah, Christians read the Bible, and Muslims read the Quran. You get a full scope of all the 3 big religions if you read them all like that.
But
and I mean,
the Torah is the Old Testament, right?
Yeah, for the most part, but they have their own. It's worded a little bit differently. But
look
the
at
first
this. You
5
might want to
books,
frame
the
this
first 5
comment. You
books
might want to
is,
frame this comment. John Young is correct.
The first 5 books is essentially like Jewish law, and then and that's where you get like you can't eat certain meats, you can't sleep with another guy, like stuff like that. It's all the Jewish commandments. I don't know how many there are, but they basically have to memorize all of them. And then after that, it's old story testament, old stories like back in the Old Testament, like David and Goliath, stuff like that. Elijah getting carried up with chariots. That's a fun story. Just different Old Testament stories that are in the Jewish, I don't know if you will, history. And then the New Testament's Jesus. And I mean, the Old Testament's full of prophecy too, which is in Torah as well. And that essentially, that's why they believe what they believe. For Jews, they believe that the Messiah has not come yet, and they're waiting on him, right? They're still waiting right now. And then for Christians, Jesus was the Messiah, and the Jews have condemned their own. But there are the books, which is Jesus. They put him on a cross and crucified him, right? But there's like Jeremiah and Isaiah and Daniel. They all tell about the Messiah that's coming, and like they're talking. It proves Jesus is real, essentially. But that's in Torah. But it's worded a little bit differently, and I don't know the specifics, so I'm not going to talk about Torah like I know it because I don't. But for a layman, yes, Old Testament and Torah are very similar.
Devesh Maharaj, the hammer, not the 3 big religions, just the 3 with the same background. He's talking about the Chinese and the Indians and the Pakis. They have their own shit going on, that with like guys riding chariots and elephants with 8 arms and shit like that. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to talk about Hindu.
Yeah, that one. Krishna.
At the Noble Savage, I think it's brave for you to admit that you're reading the Quran, being a revered figure within CrossFit, and how they've taken such a staunch approach to the Israel-Gaza issue. I understand that Palestinians aren't just Muslim, but Orthodox Catholic too. Will the choice to read this book and be so open about it not affect your standing with CFHQ? Well, I'm not reading it yet. I'm planning on reading it. And this is the fucking shit I'm talking about. Like, this person is basically suggesting that I can't read that book for whatever reason with whatever's happening in society. There is no book that I can or cannot read. I can read whatever the fuck I want. And that doesn't mean I'm going to get punished for it. That's the whole
Oh, we'll see, Davey. We'll see.
the whole issue with what I was
I
addressing
can't wait till you have Mein Kampf just sitting on your bookshelf back there.
last week is just because you're consuming content from a particular side or reading a certain perspective does not mean you endorse it. And I'm not even saying there's nothing not to endorse with the Quran, but in general, my point is self-education comes from taking in all different perspectives. And that's why I'm reading a multitude of these religious texts to just see from different views and different perspectives and different beliefs. Will it affect your standing with CFHQ? Yes, I'm going to get fired for a fucking second time from CrossFit for reading the Quran.
Okay. I just want to say this. We have a crazy movement going on in this country. The question is completely absurd, except for the fact we have a crazy movement going on in this country where you could be fired for the fucking craziest shit. Wrong skin color, wrong genitalia, thinking that it's gross to put a dick in your mouth. You could say anything. Like, there are places all over the Bay Area where you could say it's gross to put a dick in your mouth and you'd be fired for that. And there's tons of people, including people who work at HQ and work all over fucking within 100 miles of where Dave and I live, who strictly hire people on nothing having to do with merit. So in that regard, if you're in one of those hives, which Dave is not, he's a bad motherfucker who lives out in the Watsonville and Vatoville, maybe he doesn't feel it. But for a lot of people living in major metropolises, San Jose, San Francisco, Portland, New York City, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Los Angeles, these are true facts. We are surrounded by people who will, if you don't perfectly line up with them, they'll crush you. John Young, would you read the Quran, or would that be against your? Are you allowed to read the Quran?
Yeah, why would it be a problem if you read the Quran?
I don't know. Maybe your book says that you can't learn about other gods or something.
You shouldn't worship other gods for sure. But it's
Okay.
I find anytime that I read something that's different than what I believe, it just solidifies my beliefs even more. I mean, like, well, you can poke holes in this for sure, and like it proves that Jesus is my savior again and again and again. Anything that I read that's not that. Does that make any sense or no?
Yeah. I'm glad to hear that. I thought you would say that you wouldn't be allowed to read the Quran, but I'm glad to hear you say you can.
Actually, the fact that you do shows that you're not afraid. Like, I think that a lot of people, whatever their one belief is, and you can use this on all of the things that have been happening over the last whatever years. The second someone is completely shut off to, there is no way I will even look at the other side. That now it's not a faith thing. It's like just an ignorance thing. I don't want to hear it at all. Then, I mean, the vax. I mean, you pick it. Whatever you want to talk about. If you only look at one side, how can you come up with any sort of idea? How can you come up with any sort of stuff? Whatever your reasoning that makes sense to you.
And the scary thing is,
look all the way around.
Is that if you're only limited to have one side, and if you choose to even look at information, process it, or discuss information, that you are somehow evil or need to be fired from your job. I don't remember it being this crazy 10 years ago. Do any of you guys?
No.
Okay,
not even close.
So then the real question is anybody who goes into this, regardless of where you land in your beliefs or your thoughts, political, religion, whatever, if you are somebody who is with the narrative that things shouldn't be discussed and processes and debated, you are the enemy.
100%.
I agree with that.
My debate part has to be there. The discussion part, not even the debate part, the discussion part.
The discussion, the open processing of ideas, everything is fair game.
In my 51 years being on planet Earth, I'd never seen anyone I can't remember seeing anyone being chased in the United States because of their religion and like being threatened. And now I've seen a dozen in the last 2 months of people chasing Jews down in places. And it's fucking crazy. I seriously didn't think I would see that shit in my lifetime, but I've seen it here now in the States. I can't even believe that shit.
Dude, I'm telling you, I mean, there's always been weird, stupid shit that's gone on, but once the whole quarantine thing started and everybody really started looking at everybody weird, and now all of a sudden it's just like, here's whatever the thing is, boom, Palestine, or boom, vaccinations, or boom, whatever it is. It's like, you're not doing it, you're evil, we're taking you out. And that is shocking to me.
I think you're right. I think the
Shocking to me.
quarantine, I think that was huge. That
was like the first
destabilized a lot
domino.
of shit. Yep.
And then all of a sudden it's like, and then now that's where I mean, for me, I mean, I've always felt like personally, like I don't care what anyone believes. They believe whatever you want. That's fine. That's your deal. But mine is mine. So go fuck yourself on whatever you think. That's cool. This is what I think. But for me to get into any argument, like half the time, I'd listen to some of the shows that you would have on, and you'd be saying things and I'd be like, man, I couldn't even jump in because I don't even know what I would say to that. I have to go and look at whatever. And so I have to go and look at the information to find out for myself, like, all right, well, let me think of what makes sense to me, because I'm the one that's living in my skin anyway. So I really don't care if it makes sense to you or not. I need to know that if it makes sense to me so that I can function in my world.
I like that. Yep.
I don't think anybody should impose any kind of views on anybody regardless of any belief. I think you should be able to shout your belief as loud as you want to. And like, obviously I would love it if Sevon like got saved by Jesus legitimately and not baptized twice and claim he is. But it's not my right to claim, like, I have no claim over him at all. And I should, and you should, and nobody should, especially the government over anybody, to where they can impose views in any kind of a fashion.
100%, man. 100%. And what is great about like even our little group that we have, there's a lot of different personalities, a lot of different ideals, a lot of different beliefs, and I haven't seen anybody be like, I'm out, screw you guys because you don't believe whatever. Everyone's cool, and it's like, okay, you believe that way, fine, I'll tease you about it, whatever, and you'll tease back, and that's cool. But everyone is able to discuss, and it's like, okay, if you want to have a discussion, then we'll discuss. Otherwise, I'm not going to hate you because of how you believe or what you believe or whatever. I mean, Sevon, listen to how you've talked about the vax, and look at the people that you've had on your show. You haven't been like, you think that we are not putting you on this show because you did that, and no way, you haven't done that.
I had my flat earther guys on, 2 of my flat earther guys, homies.
Some of the best shows you've had on here.
Yeah.
Flat earth till I die. Hey,
very entertaining.
Very good. There are boundaries that people need to have. I think value. I think it's important to have values. But let's get back to Dave. Okay, here we go. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, John. Thank you, Susan.
Oh boy. At the real Kevin 87.
Oh, he started this one saying, "Oh boy."
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
I'm not judging Bill for just swigging a Coca-Cola. Not that much.
Bubbly. Thank you very much.
Darn it.
Come on.
The BTS was 15 episodes and won't be available to the public until February. I don't know. Sevon does his little review of these things. He can let you know. At Jerwall, I thought the BTS was 15 episodes and ending with CFHQ. Yes, I'm going to get fired for a fucking second time from CrossFit for reading the Quran. Oh boy. At the real Kevin 87. I thought the BTS was 15 episodes and won't be available to the public until February. I don't know. Sevon does his little review of these things. He can let you know. At Jerwall.
Listen, sign up for the membership now. Support it. It's a fucking no-brainer. You'll get to see all of them ahead of time. But if you don't like the fact that I have John Young on and you want to punish me for that, then fine. Then just wait till February 15th and we'll start releasing them one at a time for 2 weeks leading up to the Open, where I will be joining this year and kicking ass. I'll be joining all juiced up.
And I'm not in the behind the scenes at all. So you're not punishing him by not going and seeing it early.
We've only gotten screeners up until episode 8. Maybe you're in the last 7. Be cool. Maybe you are. Don't misrepresent. Maybe you are in there.
I don't think I saw you and your camera until the last day of the game, Sevon. So
we had lots of cameras.
Yeah, but you got to sign up. Someone sign up right now. I'm too poor to afford it. Okay, I hear you. No problem. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see you on the 15th.
All right, here we go. Well, that's good because I'm getting fucking rich by other people supporting it. So one of us is.
Where's the barn?
Where's the barn? Yeah, here we go.
Jeff Actis. Hi, Dave. What is your position on affiliates branding themselves as performance or health and fitness gyms as instead of branding as a CrossFit gym? So if you're a CrossFit gym and you skew more towards performance, that's fine. I think that's the beauty of the model, that you can kind of pick the direction you're going to go. And same, like some lean more towards the regular athlete and the health and fitness. So as a CrossFit gym, choosing different routes to go in regards to what is important to you or what you want your community to be about is awesome and totally expected and totally celebrated. But if you're a CrossFit gym doing CrossFit and you're dropping the CrossFit name and you're dropping the mark and you're just branding yourself as a performance or health and fitness gym and using our methodology, well, that's another thing. Then at that point, you're just choosing to use our methods, choosing to use our style of training without branding, without using the name, without giving attribution, which a lot of people are doing. And that puts you in a kind of different camp. And that's an individual professional choice of the person who runs that gym going in that route and using a methodology to their advantage without giving attribution to the methodology. And do what you need to do, but it's not the highest standards of living that I would put myself out. It's not how I would handle the situation. At White Rabbit 09.
Oh, he censored himself. He's like he's reading the Quran. He don't want to get too squirrely. That's enough for this show. He censored himself. He was about to say you were a punk ass bitch with no integrity. Souza, thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I feel that same way. Like if you're using it and you want to be a part of the community, like pay the affiliate fee, be a CrossFit gym, make it official.
Grundler is another affiliate owner. Thoughts?
Yeah, I wish they would have come out swinging and said, no, fuck you guys, we're coming at you. If you use CrossFit methodology, if you use obviously what we're doing or some sort of X fit or anything where you're trying to bite off and ride the coattails of what we are paying for, that's what I want that right there is what I want HQ to do. Chop down all the motherfuckers that are trying to do what we do and say that they're, we were CrossFit like.
Yeah, hey, I would all the things you say, hey, what's HQ doing for me? What's the value proposition? That's the biggest value proposition that you could possibly have.
Protect your affiliates.
Yeah, your affiliates.
How do you come after
them. Hey,
dude, they used to do that all the time.
I got the playbook right here. If your neighbors aren't wearing a mask, you need to make sure that they get reported because it's for your safety, right? So you just do the same playbook. Hey, if the dude up the street from you is doing CrossFit, it's branded on CrossFit. There's a spot on CrossFit.com that you could go and you could report those affiliates. Where's David Weed with the call the cops button? And you report the affiliate because guess what? They're not a CrossFit gym. They're not part of the community. And technically they're stealing the name. So they should be shut down.
They used to hunt people down. We would do that. And send names in and they would go looking, or we would hear, I mean, if you had anything that was cutting into the CrossFit space, who was it?
I thought
Gretchen
you were talking about
Kittleberger
like
and Dale and James Hobart started in that group too. All the lawyers that would come after you.
Yeah, you couldn't even call your gym XFit.
Yeah.
Sleeky, that's all the affiliate team and legal team used to do was go after gyms using the name illegally.
Yeah.
It was badass. All right.
Clear understanding of socialism.
Hey, give me a second, guys.
Okay. This is gonna be good. 1984 and socialism. This is gonna be fun. Here we go.
I would put myself out. It's not how I would handle the situation. At White Rabbit 09, for a clear understanding of socialism, read 1984 by George Orwell. I have read it. Great book. Really enjoyed it. At Tempest Mia, I consume content from the other side. I listen.
Susie, you just read 1984, right?
Yeah.
It scared the shit out of you? You're like, holy shit, it's actually here?
Yeah, and for those of you guys that didn't need to read it or didn't read it, you don't have to. You're living through it.
Yeah, right.
I mean, there's one part in the book where they talk about, hey, you have to hate and war with this person, and it's the Northeast, and then the next day you wake up and the banners have changed, and now we're friends with the Northeast, and now we hate the West, and we're warring with the West. I mean, the fact that we're changing speech, we're changing definitions of words, or we're losing definitions of words that are descending us into chaos. those type of things are living through it. If you listen to the book, especially, or read the book, especially as you just apply it to some of the stuff that you're hearing now, and just sit as an observer, like as if you're plucked from Earth and you're just watching everything that's happened in the last 3 years, and you're listening or reading the book as you do it, then it's 100%. It's what's happening. I mean, there's new speak, there's new ways of social crediting. There's a lot of if you think differently and you voice that, you are instantly labeled the enemy, or vicious other names. And so yeah, we're living through it.
And if you don't have time to read the book, watch the movie, because it's, I mean, if you need that quick fix to see actually like what it looks like. And I would never in most cases say watch the movie, not the book. But like if you need to sit down for 2 hours and get it all in, dude, it's disturbing. It's really
How close it
disturbing.
is.
And if
How
you need
sleeky-
it, if you need something even quicker, then just watch the Apple commercial, because
Oh,
it's one of the most famous commercials in all of hit TV.
The irony there.
Sleeky, I tried reading it in 2020, had to put it down because it freaked me the fuck out. Asymmetric Ears. 1984 was much better when it wasn't happening. Sean Sullivan, we are living it.
Yeah.
Oi, oi, oi.
It's so scary, man. It's so, and that's what's weird, is that we've been so numb to that. It's like, oh, it's not real. We're not really living it. Even though you pick it up and it is like act for act for act for, it's like a handbook.
Hey, and
Crazy.
here's the biggest thing is we're and this, I'm taking this directly from the Cat Williams, the viral Cat Williams interview. If you guys check that out, you definitely should. But what he said is we're allowing losers to rewrite history for winners. And it's about time that people started speaking up and quit being so fucking afraid, especially like if we want to break into the parties right here. In my opinion, the Republican Party are cowardice. Conservative businessmen have been cowardice. There is no reason why the Democratic Party should own Washington Post, should own Forbes. There's no reason why that. They've been afraid. They've been afraid with their money. They've been afraid to speak up. And it is no longer time to be afraid. I'm only afraid that it's too late.
Thank you, Souza. I second it.
I've had a couple cups of coffee today. Sorry, I'm all fired up.
LOL.
Heavy.
Fired up's good.
And then someone else says, yes, I have to really bite my tongue watching that guy. So do I. But the CrossFit content and guests is good.
What the
fuck? I consume content from the other side. I listen to Sevon. Rabbit09. For a clear understanding of socialism, read 1984 by George Orwell. I have read it. Great book. Really enjoyed it. At Tempest Me, I consume content from the other side. I listen to Sevon. LOL. And then someone else says, yes, I have to really bite my tongue watching that guy. So do I. But the CrossFit content and guests is good. From a perspective from the other side, this leads to another comment. This guy, Dan8712, said, let me read between the lines for everyone. Dave's speech on books and consuming content from other viewpoints is ultimately saying just because you may not agree with Sevon's politics, don't miss out on the BTS. Get off your virtue signaling and enjoy some quality CrossFit content. Have a great day. That was not what I was saying with that discussion last week or even now. It had nothing to do with Sevon's behind the scenes. I don't even think, in my opinion, his shit is an issue in terms of not watching his content because of his political beliefs. Like that's like, if people aren't watching his content because they don't like his political beliefs, here we go again. That's exactly the fucking shit I'm talking about. Like,
I don't think it's a political belief to be like, hey, if you kill a baby in the mom's stomach, that's murdering a baby. That's like, I'm just trying to understand basic biology. I don't think making it so that men who have an unquenchable desire to dress as women and read to little kids in a library is a political belief. I think it's I'm protecting kids. I don't even know if I have any. What are my political beliefs?
I think it's just you're very vocal about your personal opinions, which may be viewed by a lot of people or agreed with by a lot of people, and maybe some. Like,
but are those opinions or are those facts? Like, I want to get down to the facts. Like I'm trying to figure out like what my opinion is versus what a fact is. I think some people confuse facts and opinions.
Well, right, because the titles, dude, this is the weirdest thing that I think happened in. I mean, I've been on this planet longer than you have, and I think the weirdest thing that's happened in my time is that we go from knowing what words mean to we just straight up change definitions to fit whatever the direction that the powers are trying to do are trying to guide. That's the hard part. So even when you're talking about facts and opinions, I think I hear the word, fake news, false news more often than I hear the facts. Here's the facts. Everything has a twist to it. So, facts, I think, are a lot of times going to be the perception of, whereas our opinion is like, well, what do we think? What do I think the facts are? So that's my opinion versus what are the actual. I think it's tough to just to say it.
The opinions are that you should read John's opinion is that you should read the Bible, starting with the New Testament. The facts are is that the New Testament is Jesus. No, sorry. That's his opinion. Is that you should start with the New Testament. You shouldn't start with the Old Testament. The facts are is that the New Testament is Jesus' story. Is that right, John?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really good. Really well put.
Thank you.
Hey, but if you start to change the words of definitions and all that, and you could easily mislabel or call things misinformation, then you eradicate journalism. And once you've eradicated journalism and you no longer have an informed public, then you just have a people that being controlled. So in order for us to actually be a really free and informed societies, you have to have the freedom of press, and that's what's being eliminated.
Totally. And I think the opinion is, okay, like, what do you think is fact, Sevon? What do you think is fact, John? What do you think is fact, Susan? And when I look at that, those are all your opinions, and then I get to choose where do I want to run or which one makes most sense to me. And if we don't have, just like what you're saying, Matt, if we don't have independent journalism out there where it's not directed or forced or pushed or bought or directed by a political party or a particular group, then I don't get to know what else is out there. I mean, I don't even watch it. I haven't watched the news for a long time, but when I do, like if I'm at my mom's house or whatever, it is shocking what is said. And it's like, wow, they're just saying it like that's like, that is the end all be all. Like that's the word of God coming down. Mm-hmm. That's straight out of the Bible, that's actually what it is. And it's like, well, I was actually there and none of that happened. Mm-hmm. What the heck? So that's what makes it tough.
I just realized here's the political part. I just figured it out. The political part is that the people on the left, me just saying that, the people on the left think that abortion is a woman's reproductive rights. And I think we can all agree with that. Abortion is reproductive rights. The people on the right think that it's killing a baby. Now here's where it's political. The people on the right know it's both. They know that they have to make a decision between saving a baby's life and a woman's reproductive rights. We can see both. We're like both. The people on the left refuse to say, hey, you're also killing a baby. They'd rather lie to themselves and to us. And I'm a pro-choice guy. I'm like, I choose the women's rights over the baby's life. It might be wrong, but I don't see anyone on the left seeing both sides. And I think people on the right are like, yeah, it's both. And that's where it gets frustrating, I feel like. And that's the political part. That's my opinion, and I guess that's what makes me political. The fact that I do believe that the Republicans can see both sides and the people on the left can't. Yeah, it's killing a baby for sure. But it is also women's reproductive rights. We are going into her body, and it's her body. Mm-hmm. But you got to make a decision. It's a hard decision. Instead of making the hard decision, which probably isn't hard for John Young, he's like, save the baby. You refuse to see both sides if you're on the left. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Isn't it? John's like, fuck, I work with crazy people. You mean some of you guys don't want to save the baby? Yeah, it's fucked up, John. I know.
Yeah, and you have to change words.
I was born in Berkeley, dude. I was born in Berkeley.
No, it's not your fault. I feel you.
Thank you.
Have you seen Bill
It's
Burr's,
a clump of cells, says Judy Reed.
That's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm saying. They have to start changing words to make it more comfortable, because otherwise, if you just use the truth, it's very uncomfortable, and then you're forced with the reality of your decisions, right?
Oh, shit.
It's not a D-. I passed. What are you talking about? That's passing.
Okay, well, maybe I was wrong. Maybe there are some retarded Republicans. Here we go, Vittorio. Sorry, Vittorio. I like you, but you're about to get torn up. Abortion isn't reproductive rights. Oh, of course it is. How is it not? How is it not? You just have to choose.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Savon.
Yeah, it's a woman's body, man. Fuck. Okay, sorry.
Have you seen Bill Burr's? Have you seen Bill Burr's comedy skit on abortion?
Mm-hmm. It is
so funny. It is so great.
Not a taxidermy. I was aborted, so I definitely have a bias here. Hey, there are some of us who know people who were attempted abortions, and they thought that they were aborted, and then they ended up being born. And if you don't know someone like that, you should know someone like that. It's a trip. Okay, here we go.
It's okay to hear or to consume content CrossFit. So let me say this: the behind the scenes is CrossFit content unrelated to all of his other perspectives. If you want to judge and call it protest that CrossFit content because of his personal beliefs, we're just spinning in circles here. But the point why I said that last week wasn't about that. Had nothing to do with that. So had nothing to do with.
God forbid you support the behind the scenes. Ding dong.
Wasn't a message to encourage people to watch his content. Although I do concede, I can see why you could tie those things together.
Oh, he's a Republican. He can see both sides.
Okay, one last comment. At Dropped Out of School, while you're reading the Bible, you should check out Father Mike Schmitz's Bible in a Year podcast. 365 episodes, one for each day, reading through the entire Bible. Each episode he gives a little context commentary to the section that he reads. And he also said he does CrossFit too. Haha. So, Father Mike Schmitz, I've known his brother for the last 20 years. I'm actually picking his brother. I'm going to San Diego tonight for a private level 1 tomorrow and Wednesday. And I'm picking up his brother from the airport tonight. And I've been close friends with his brother for the previous 20 years. We actually did a deployment back together way back in the day. And a few weeks ago, I went to his retirement in Fort Bragg, and I briefly met Father Mike Schmitz. So funny that you should mention that. He's Father, for those of you who don't know who Father Mike Schmitz is, Google him. He is a massive Catholic YouTuber. And so he has a really big channel, and he seems like a very nice guy. His brother's a great guy. Okay.
John hates him because he's Catholic. John, Mike Schmidt, have any thoughts on him?
No, I've heard the name. I don't know him though. I would suggest John MacArthur personally, but it's I think they'll all be good. Just reading the Bible's great, Dave. You keep it up.
Oh, there we go. Fuck.
What is a private level 1?
We'll get to that in 1 second. Black John Young, Dave needs to change the name of his show to Dave's Book Club. Yeah. What is? You know what exactly where I thought, but I wasn't going to say it. But now that you asked, it's like it's the one DeCoons goes to. Not nice. Not nice. Be cool, Sevy. Be cool. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's for like high CIA, FBI, fucking ATF, the NSA.
I mean, it's like I could see maybe like it's not on the list, but you're going to have a group of people or a person or something like that, a high name that you want to get into CrossFit or at least get their level 1 so they have whatever.
I think they'll run it if you're a gym owner. I think I saw something on this before where if you own a gym and you want to do a private L1 with just your coaches or just your people, that you could do it like that. I'm not sure.
Is it next week the same?
For next week, look.
I don't know.
Everyone give it a thumbs up. What's a private level 1?
Yeah.
Please give it a thumbs up.
But I thought I saw something like that because a while back I tried to see if Katie Hogan would come in and evaluate all my coaches. And she was like, we're going to have something of the sort similar. And that's when I saw some of the stuff about the private L1. I could be wrong, though, but I think that's what it was.
John, there's going to be so much Bible talk in the next month. Are you excited? Everywhere you go, people are going to be like, John, you had that wrong. Good job, John. Good job supporting the Bible. Oh, you're going to get just... John, would you ever go to seminary school and become a whatever, preacher, pastor,
preacher,
deacon?
No,
whatever?
I'm not called to that. I feel like you got to be really, just really, really called to do that, and it doesn't. And I just never have been. I get really passionate when I talk, though. I feel like I talk like a preacher sometimes, but like when we're doing our rankings or pick shows, if that just was flipped into Bible talk. You know what I mean? Like if I could see myself getting fired up, but it's more about like debating though, and not like preaching to people. So no, short answer.
Amen.
GoRuck sponsorship, partnership, however you want to refer to it. Super cool. Really excited about that. GoRuck is he's been around. I've known those guys for a very long time. Jimmy Letchford, who's the president of GoRuck, I've known him for almost 2 decades. He worked for CrossFit for over a decade. And so Marine, went to the Naval Academy, really good guy, hard charger, likes to make shit happen. And we have a great relationship, so I'm excited about that. Jason, I've known Jason for several years, not quite a decade, but he probably, whatever year it was that we had the rucks in the games, he flew out here. We met up, we talked, and we talked about the packs, we talked about GoRuck, we talked about his background. And then I said, hey, can you outfit every athlete at the games with the pack? And he said, how many is that? I said, like 500 or 600. He said, yeah, I can do that. And I said, okay, done. I'm going to put rucking in the games this year. And so that was the beginning of the ruck being in the games. And we played around. See, for the years, prior to that, we had done vest stuff, weighted vest, 511 vest, but we hadn't introduced a ruck. And the event we did had these little weight bags that Rogue made, and every lap you ran, you'd add another weight to the pack, and the packs got progressively heavier. And interestingly, some athletes, their backs got tore up by abrasion from the back of the I think it was 1,000 denier cordura that they used on the back panel. So from that, Jason wasn't pleased with that, and then made some improvements. And I think now on their ruckers, they might have dropped it down to like 200 denier cordura, or maybe they're using something different. But they addressed and attacked the abrasion issue on the lower back. And so that's just one example of the innovation and just always trying to make his product better that Jason and GoRuck, how they perceive running their company and always striving for excellence and innovation and moving forward. So really happy about that. Pick up a pair of GoRucks if you don't. I think if you don't have it set for CrossFitting, I'm talking about the shoes or a pack or anything they make. I think you'll really like them. I also like the super clean, simple designs. Obviously, I like their background and how they support the military, and they came from the military. So really happy about that. The Open's coming up.
Oh shit, we lost John Young.
Oh damn, he's out. Hashtag he's out. Like he's got a square and everything.
Yeah, where'd he go? I just boot him. Thoughts on GoRuck? Anyone? Souza, thoughts on GoRuck?
Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's a cool fit for what they have going. The shoe thing kind of throws me off. I always thought that they were just like the backpack thing, but I've never tried a pair of their shoes, so be interesting to see.
Grunler, any thoughts on GoRuck?
I think it's cool that Jimmy Letchford was, that he's the president of the. I didn't realize he was the president of the company. I knew he was doing some work with them, but I think that's cool that he was able to pull them in, and it's nice to be able to see. It's a gritty, OG feel of a brand coming back in. I hope that they have the size and the capacity to be able to push CrossFit where it needs to go, and I hope they have a lot more colors other than just tan, light tan.
Everyone should be very upside down. Oh, I loved upside down, John. Everyone should be very patient with this next year. These types of switches are going to be difficult. Wrong names on shirts showing up late, wrong shoe size. I mean, this is a massive undertaking. I wish them the best. I know Jimmy for a long time too. He's coming on the show soon. I've talked about experiences I've had with Jimmy on the show. It's going to be wild. I wish them the best of luck. Obviously, GoRuck's gear is dope. Everyone fucking loves it. It's pretty premium shit. But everyone should be.
What's funny is that people are. I see people in the comments talking about how expensive the backpacks are. It's just an expensive backpack. Have you guys shopped at Rogue at all recently for anything? Like, we don't worry about like cheap stuff. It's not like big 5 ruck packs or anything like that. So is what it is, you guys.
Tank Reeves, a funny thing, the Zionist regime look at Sevon like a goyim and a piece of garbage, meaning like a non-Jew. First of all, you have to understand, I'm never nice to someone because they're nice to me. I'm never mean to someone because they're mean to me. I'm never, I am in control of me. I am the walking epitome of what Jocko Willink wishes he was when it comes to personal accountability and personal responsibility. I am the extreme of that. I don't smoke weed.
Nice.
Omar Lozano. I'm fasting today. I'm a bad dude.
I'm fasting today too.
Thank you.
Hey, I have like 10 minutes left, Sideline. Just letting you know.
Okay, sorry. Omar Lozano, Sevi grabbed a CEO t-shirt from Vindicate, best money you could ever spend, and loving them, supporting the cause to have the best coverage of Waterpalooza. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. The media team's kicking fucking ass. We're on it. We're rebranding ourselves for 2024. We have so many cool things to roll out.
Don't forget to sign up. It's going to be a really good 3 weeks. I'm excited about what we have in store for you guys. Can't say much, obviously, but I think you will enjoy it in a very painful way. NorCal Classic is also coming up, and they have their NorCal Classic and the French Throwdown. They're both coming up, and they have, French Throwdown's later, but they both have an online qualifier for their community events that are later in the year, happening, I think, soon for about a month. And so if you're looking for something to kind of tune up or prepare for the Open, or something that you have a shot to go to a community event, actually qualify for an in-person event, They both have a lot of divisions. They both take a lot of athletes. I went to NorCal Classic last year. They do a great job, a lot of community. It was just a really good feeling, really good vibe. So sign up for their events if you are interested in possibly advancing to a in-person community event. We hope to do more with those guys and more align more with them and be more formally associated with their community events. So more to follow on that.
What's he saying there? He's setting something up. What's this? NorCal Classic. What's
Dude,
amazing? What the fuck
that's
did he just say?
huge.
What did
Yeah,
he
he
say?
said he wants to have some sort of increase their connection between CrossFit and either, I don't know if he was talking NorCal specifically, that's what he's talking about, or
That
if he's talking
event's
about other
amazing.
events.
It's
Yeah,
got
they did-
2008 game vibes. It's pretty amazing event.
No, it's fun. I've been there all the years they've had it. Blair and Ben do a great job for sure.
You commentate that one? You do that one?
I was commentating for it, and then when they dropped their live feed, then I was on the floor. I was doing MC for them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, and I saw you there this year. That's right. Briefly. Yeah, that was a shock. Dude,
yeah, you were
great
chasing
event.
Dave down, so you couldn't stay
Always.
long.
Always. What did you hear, Souza? What are they doing? Are they is games expanding?
I don't know. That's interesting, but I think CrossFit would be smart to get involved with some of these more localized community events to have some sort of impact there. I mean, I don't really know offhand what that would look like, but I do think that that would be a good play for them.
I think it would be
In terms of
they'd
money
put their
or
money that way
programming?
and-
No. This wouldn't be a money investment. This is more of like a localized, affiliate gathering community type thing. Like Sevon said, it had 2008 vibes. Like I remember the regionals from back in the day. It was more localized, so you would go there and see all your other affiliate owners and coaches and other people. And I think this is just another opportunity for another one of those. And it would be smart for CrossFit to have some either more visibility there or to elevate it in the sense that they might bring their own media people or something like that.
Oh, hype it up
Something.
media wise. Yeah, I could see that. Like,
I mean, they'd have to do something other than the licensing thing. Like the licensing thing, to me, I still don't really understand what that is doing. I mean, you get to put the name on there, cool, I get that, but I don't really see any connection with CrossFit.
Yeah, like what do you get? Do you get a
things,
shitload of social media? Do you get some sort of push? Does Dave go? Like, what do you get? Yeah,
I don't think there are. In fact, I think that there was some discussion even about the fact that Dave showed up. I think this was actually on one of his week in review like 2 weeks ago or something like that. How he showed up to one but not to another one. I think it was he showed up at Legends and didn't show up at the Wheel Wad. And they were wondering like, well, that is that a bad look? And he's like, why? I can't go to all the places all the time, which is true. And so like I like the idea, Susan, like what you're saying, of having some sort of a connection. I just don't know what that would look like other than either they're in like the semis or they're just just slapping the name on it, like the licensing of the other events. I don't know what it would look like. Be interesting to see.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised he's saying it. And the fact that he's saying it with NorCal, with the NorCal Classic and connecting that together. Like, dude, Blair and Ben, like their idea was they were just going to do it regardless of if anyone was attached to them or not. So I like that they've grown what they've grown. And it's turned into kind of a Woodstocky version of Waterpalooza. It's not as pretty yet as something like that, but it's definitely turning in and growing every year. So they're doing a good job over there.
Yeah, I think
the fact that he's. Go ahead,
I think a
Susan.
media component would be cool. And then I just think you just need presence. I don't think it needs to involve any name on it or anything. It'd still be NorCal Classic. But what I'd like to see is like Dave and these people out there, maybe at a CrossFit booth where they're able to have a discussion.
it would be cool if it was called the CrossFit NorCal Classic.
It would be, but what type of implications would that have on the the regular sports season? I don't know. But that would definitely be cool. But I just think presence
Doesn't need to.
I mean, presence matters so much. I mean, you went to the Legends, right, Sevon? You showed up with Greg and like Dave, and then you went with Dave with the NorCal Classic. And how much did that mean to everybody that was there?
Everybody loves that.
So like just having a presence goes a long ways. And then if you do that and put some sort of media behind it, or even just elevate what they're doing at the NorCal Classic and the French Throwdowns and these things. And again, I don't know what elevation would look like, whether that's media produced on their end or them sending out emails just to highlight it more. But I think any times that they could have a more connection to the community and make more of a presence at those things is going to be beneficial for them and for the affiliate.
I agree.
And finally, the reason why I say if you want to go to an event, our open, you do the open, you can qualify for the quarterfinals, and then from the quarterfinals, the in-person aspect out of that is the semifinals. And so, the semifinals. And just the best make it to that. Not trying to say you shouldn't do the open or the quarterfinals, not saying that at all. Definitely do that. Measure yourself up against the world, compete in our awesome events that we're going to put out there. But if you are like, I could probably even qualify for one of the events at the NorCal Classic. So my point is, it's a little more accessible to all for an in-person.
Can Dave really qualify for NorCal Classic, you think?
He checks himself here in a second.
Okay. Actually, I probably couldn't qualify.
Oh, Davey, we love you. Oh, shit.
All right, cool. Well, maybe in one of the scale divisions.
There we
Thanks.
go.
Back.
That's good. That's good.
Oh, shit.
But could you imagine
Or,
Dave going down?
That'd be awesome, dude.
They
It
must
would be
have
awesome
a
to
rep
see
run
him.
as one of their events planned, and he's thinking, "Oh, I'd be good at that one," and then just thinking he can qualify.
Always drop comment. It's cold here, and it's been raining, and it's wet. So it was like 30, 35 degrees this morning here at the ranch. It's probably low 40s right now. So that's cold for us. That's why I'm all bundled up, and I'm in a tin shed. The shop isn't exactly a insulated office. But anyways, thanks for tuning in.
I want to say this real quick. Great show, Dave. I want you guys to hear me loud and clear. Athena Perez basically told Andrew Hiller, "I'll be your canvas for a year." Now, Dave reposted and is like, posted something like, "Hey, Hiller, she's checking your shit," meaning that, you know, Dave wants in the mix. This is where I think Hiller should challenge Dave. Be like, "Hey, you talk about CrossFit as having a vulnerability component. How about you fucking enter the scale division at NorCal Classic and show us that because we'll love him no matter how he does. We don't care if he finishes last, but it's going to put his ego on the line.
100%.
You know what I mean? He's going to have to hear people cracking jokes for the next 20 years. But how about that?
Oh, I get to call his name on the floor.
Yeah. How about TDC?
Oh my God!
How about
I'll say his name wrong. I'll make sure I say his name wrong.
How about
Got a note rep from Dave
Castro?
Castro.
How about TDC go to the NorCal Classic, the CrossFit NorCal Classic, and do the scale division? We'll all pour out there and support him.
Yeah,
That would be amazing.
It would be great. It would be great if one of the events was a 1 rep max deadlift, and then Bill can just bring up the 30-second deadlift clip.
There's a
we have a rep clock. There's a rep clock. You have to get it done within 30 seconds.
There's a time cap.
Souza, any final thoughts on this week's week in review by the Dave Castro?
I like it. If you remember a couple of ones back there, I said I was like, he seems like he's playing the fence a little bit, and he's like kind of not really speaking. I love that this one seemed raw, it seemed real, and he definitely seemed back to his himself here. So I dug it a lot.
John Young, I know you have to go. Any final words?
No, thanks for having me. And like people in the comments, be easy on me. I'm just the most knowledgeable one about the Bible on here. I'm no preacher or anything. Okay. So I do my best. And obviously
treat John the way God would want you to treat John.
Yeah.
Not the way Satan would. Bill, do you have any final thoughts?
I think that Dave's doing a great job. It is nice. I see him being more real while still walking the line. And you can see him, like you said, checking himself. So he's not trying to say what he doesn't leak out enough, but he's still saying what is true to him. So I always get happy when he drops a couple fucks in there anyway. It makes it's like, okay, that's you. Okay, good. You're back.
I feel like
Tank,
he's been being a little more vulnerable. I don't know how you guys feel, but it feels like that to me.
I agree.
Just a
Vulnerable.
humble man.
You were vulnerable, saying the word vulnerable. Tank, remember, if everyone was like you, the world would be a perfect place, and there wouldn't be a place for you to teach people like me. So appreciate you being here, buddy. You're a good dude. To all of you, peace and love. See you tonight, Miranda Alcaraz. If we could all only be as rich and as successful as her. Bye-bye.